So in our last task, we stopped just as we were trying to populate the items in our combo box, and we had started just by this part, remove all options from the combo box. I'm going to change that slightly. I'm going to move it from there and then create a private procedure to do that one. So I'm just going to call it add items to combo box of driver selection, and add drivers combo. And similarly to the others, private void add drivers combo. Now the reason I want to do it then, and still starting with the remove all items, is I want to have the file read first of all. So we can use a loop again to loop round all the rides, and I'm just going to default add them all and see if you can predict what's going to happen. Box underscore drivers dot add item, I think it is, add item string, and we want to do rides dot get I dot get driver. So now when we log in as admin, it loads, admin, password private, and log in, we can see them all, but then we've got multiple copies of the same user all the time. We can still select them, but it just looks horrible because every time there's a row, it's adding that same driver again. So before we need to add it, check if it already exists. Now there would be an easier way to do this really if I had the drivers list essentially in here as well. If I'd passed a list of drivers over to the admin frame, which could have been a way to start this off, and then you would have all the drivers, or all the users rather, the usernames of people with accounts on this, but not a problem. So for each driver, we need to go around and check if it exists. So for each driver, checking that it exists. So we want to say boolean found equals false, and we want to do for int j equals 0, j less than rides dot the combo box dot size here. We want to look through the combo box options. So for int j equals 0, j less than j combo box underscore drivers dot get item count j plus plus, getting complex here, we're going to end up moving that if j combo box underscore drivers dot get item at j dot equals, and this is where it would be much better if we had this as temp objects to make it easier. So in rides.get I.get driver, oh my goodness, this is getting complex. It would just be easier to read if we had them as temp objects now. That would mean that we have found it, so we can say found equals true, and I'll just put a break in there to jump out it. Now I don't want to automatically add that to the combo box there. I want to go outside that loop, and if found equals false, then we can add it to our list. Let's just check on these for readability outside the if. Now I think that should work. So let's just test it quickly. There, like I said, if I designed my data structure a bit better, I could have had a list of all of those a bit easier. So we log in, it's not added any, so now we wanted to figure out what's gone wrong, and it's because I still have this if found inside the loop. And we'll try that again, just a little error on the brackets there. I had the correct amount of brackets, but having the if statement still inside the loop didn't give it a chance to find them. So admin, private, log in. Now you can see we only have unique users on that list now. So now what I want to do is I need to have functionality on that we need to go in and right click and choose from the events, and there's a couple of different ones we can work here. Mouse clicked. Want to go for now. We'll test this as well, and we can see how it works. We want to do system.out.println, and we want to do the JCombo box, which is that one. Dot get selected index, and print that out just so we see how it works. Now -1 is when there's no option made. So if we run that and we open it up, admin, private, and log in, choosing some of the different options on here and looking at the system.out, didn't work, so not using the correct event, so we maybe want event action. I think it's actually action performed is where I should have put it. Let's just double check that. So I'll remove that code from where I had it, and it should be action performed. Close that down and run it again. Admin, private again. So looking back at the system.out, you can see -1, 0, and 1 is shown as the options we picked 1. So if we go back again and choose the last one, going back out is obviously index 3, 0 being the first. Now the other option that I want to put into it manually is for the option to choose all. So JCombo box underscore drivers dot add item all. Now the reason I want to do that will become clearer in a second. I want to get what that actual object, or the string that's there rather, so I'm going to use index instead of equal to that value that's been selected, and I want to do string choice equals JCombo box underscore drivers dot get item at index. So that will give us the string choice. Now then what I want to do is if choice dot equals all, I'm just going to call my display table method that takes no arguments, which literally displays all. Otherwise, I'm going to display table and I'm going to pass over that choice to it, which means I'll need to create a new method called display table, and again showing polymorphism there. And I'm going to steal all the code and make very few changes to it, apart from having the display table take a string choice over. Same model, same row count. We're going to look for all of them, but we're going to add in an if statement to it that's going to be if the rides.getIndex.getDriver.equals, and that will be choice. Then we'll display that choice and not make the same mistake, so making sure it's in the if statement. So now when we run it, we should hopefully be able to log in, admin, private, log in. Okay, so go back here, we've got an error, let's see, choice.equals, and then the other issue we have with that is we need to make sure that this only happens, if you can work that out, the choice at the beginning is -1 when it has no choice. So if index is greater than -1, then we can do all of that code, get the choice, etc., etc. So if we kill the program again, run it again, log in as admin, and there we go. So we can see the all option there. If we use EARO2, you can see it only displays those. CDMO2, see, choosing the all option shows you them all again in there. So that's using the combo box, the drop downs to display those particular information. Now, what you should be thinking about here is the ways you can expand on this, and really that's probably where the video is going to end here. So the logged in user has no table that displays at all. We want to pass over the parameter to the logged in user, which is the username, to display all the drives that that particular driver's taken, perform some calculations on there. Now, if you can think about easier ways to store this information, there'll be better ways where you can have a rides class that you can just accumulate all the rides together and perform maths in them. You can do it. I've listed the challenges that I want you to try on the Firefly page, so you can have a read of those there. So showing you how to read in ride details, complete the user form, so that needs to have a table and display the rides from that particular driver. The admin form, including some sort of sort functionality so that the data is actually in a specific order. Now, it would be good if you're able to click on the individual columns for that, for it to sort itself, but start off simply, put a button in to sort them in order of the journey distance and then build it from there. The admin form, use your skills. Can you get it to display the total distance driven by all of the riders and the total time driven by all of the users? And then the admin form, can you get it so that we could have a JCombo box of the different user accounts to see all the drives that they've been on? And I guess a real expert level challenge would be if you look up how to send email Java with Outlook. I think this first one that comes up here actually might be a useful one. This will involve putting in other external jar files that you would need to read through, and this is actually a very good tutorial for setting up an email, just something that's a bit different so that you can email things out to drivers. Perhaps you can get it to email, store the email in a list even, and email out the person who has driven the most that month. There's so much more you can do to expand it just to make it that little bit more interesting.